Level 1. The Apprentice Plumber. You show up at 6 o'clock in the morning to a residential construction site wearing brand new boots that haven't been broken in yet and a tool belt that feels heavy on your hips. You're 18 years old. You've never installed anything more complicated than a faucet washer. The journeyman you're assigned to is named Dave. He's been doing this for 24 years. He hands you a length of PEX tubing and tells you to rough in the supply lines to the far bathroom. You have no idea what a rough-in is. You're about to learn. A rough-in is installing all the pipes inside walls and floors before the fixtures go in and before the walls get closed up. Dave doesn't explain this. He just points and expects you to figure it out. You cut your first length of pipe. Your hands aren't used to the motion. The cut comes out crooked. You measure wrong and the piece is too short. Dave makes you scrap it and start over. You're 10 minutes into your first day and you've already wasted materials. The work is harder than you expected. You're hauling cast iron pipe that weighs 80 pounds a section. You're crawling under floor joists in spaces barely big enough for your shoulders. You're digging trenches for the main line until your back screams. Your body isn't conditioned for this. By noon, your knees ache from kneeling on concrete. By 3, your hands are raw from pipe threading. By 5, when the day ends, you're completely exhausted. Dave doesn't go easy on you because you're new. Nobody does. The construction schedule doesn't care that you've never done this before. The house needs water by the end of the month. You either learn fast or you're holding everyone back. You learn fast. You learn that hot water lines go on the left, cold on the right. You learn that water always flows downhill, and that's the whole secret to drainage. You learn that you check every joint twice, because a leak inside a finished wall means tearing it open later. You also learn the plumbing code. The Uniform Plumbing Code is hundreds of pages of regulations governing every aspect of installation. Pipe sizing for different fixtures, venting requirements, trap arm lengths, drainage slopes, backflow prevention, fixture units. You need to know this code because the plumbing inspector will test you on it. If your work doesn't meet code, it gets red tagged. Red tagged work has to be torn out and redone correctly. That costs time and money. Dave doesn't let you install anything until you've proven you know the relevant code section. 6 months in, you're starting to get it. You can sweat a copper joint without scorching the wood behind it. You can cut and glue ABS without a leak. You can set a toilet flange at the right height. You're becoming useful instead of just a body that carries tools. But you're still an apprentice. You can't work unsupervised. You can't sign off on any work. Everything you do needs to be verified by a licensed plumber. The apprenticeship lasts 4 to 5 years. Years of learning on job sites combined with classroom instruction at trade school. You attend night classes twice a week. You study theory that explains why the code exists. You learn about water pressure, pipe flow rates, vent stack sizing, gas line calculations, septic systems. You take tests every semester. You maintain a logbook documenting every hour you work and every task you perform. Some apprentices wash out. They decide the work is too hard or too dirty or too physical. You keep showing up. That's half the battle. Level 2. The Journeyman Plumber. 4 years later, you pass your journeyman licensing exam. You can work independently now. You can pull permits. You can sign off on installations. You're responsible for your own work. That responsibility weighs more than you anticipated. Your first solo job is plumbing a bathroom remodel. The homeowner gutted an old bathroom and wants new everything. You need to run supply lines, drain lines, and vents for a toilet, shower, and double vanity. It's straightforward work. You've done this 100 times as an apprentice. But this is different. Dave isn't here to catch your mistakes. If you slope a drain wrong, if you undersize a vent, if you miss a code requirement, it's entirely on you. You work carefully. You double-check everything. You measure twice before cutting. You verify pipe sizes against the fixture load. You make sure every joint is solid and every line is properly supported. You set the slope on the drains at 1/4 inch per foot, exactly to code. The installation takes you 2 days. The inspector comes on the 3rd day. He checks your work thoroughly. Pipe sizing, venting, slope, joint integrity, support spacing. He finds nothing wrong. He signs off on the permit. You just completed your first job as a licensed plumber. The work becomes routine over time, but it never becomes simple. Every building's different. Every job has unique challenges. Old houses have galvanized pipe corroded shut that needs careful replacement. New construction has tight schedules and changing plans. Commercial buildings have complex waste systems and high-demand fixtures. You develop expertise across different types of work: residential, commercial, new construction, service and repair, drain cleaning, gas fitting, water heaters, and repipes. You also learned that plumbing has real consequences. A hidden leak can rot a house from the inside. A cross-connection can contaminate drinking water. A bad gas joint can level a building. You've seen homes destroyed by water damage because someone who wasn't a licensed plumber tried to save money by doing it themselves. You've responded to service calls where DIY work created dangerous situations. This is why licensing exists. This is why the code exists. Water finds every mistake. The money's decent. Journeyman plumbers in strong union markets make $70,000 to $95,000 a year with benefits. The work is steady. Buildings always need plumbing. Technology constantly evolves, creating new opportunities. Tankless water heaters, radiant floor heating, water filtration systems, smart leak detection. You can specialize or you can stay general. Both paths offer good careers. Level 3, the Master Plumber. 8 years in the trade, and you're ready for the next step. Master Plumber requires additional testing and experience requirements. Not every plumber becomes a master. Some are content staying at journeyman level. You want the credential because it opens doors. Master plumbers can supervise other plumbers. They can run their own contracting businesses. They can design plumbing systems. You study for months. The master exam covers advanced topics: drainage design for commercial buildings, gas system sizing, backflow prevention, water heater sizing, medical gas systems, storm drainage. The test is 8 hours long. You pass on your first attempt. As a master plumber, general contractors start giving you more complex projects. A restaurant build-out where you design the entire plumbing system from scratch. A medical facility where you're installing specialized waste and water systems. An apartment complex where you're sizing the main water service and waste stacks for dozens of units. These projects require knowledge beyond basic installation. You need to calculate total fixture demand. You need to size the water service and the main drain. You need to coordinate with other trades so your work doesn't conflict with electrical or HVAC. You also start training apprentices. You've become Dave now. You have a young kid assigned to you who doesn't know anything yet. You teach him the same way Dave taught you. You don't baby him. You show him once and expect him to learn. When he makes mistakes, you make him fix them. When he asks good questions, you answer them. When he shows initiative, you give him more responsibility. You remember being in his position. You remember feeling lost and overwhelmed. You help him get through it the same way Dave helped you. Level 4, the plumbing contractor. 12 years in the trade, and you've started your own plumbing contracting business. You have a truck with your name on it. You have a contractor's license and insurance. You have 3 plumbers working for you, 2 journeymen and 1 apprentice. You're not just a plumber anymore. You're running a business. The technical work is the easy part now. You know how to plumb anything. The hard part is everything else. Bidding jobs accurately so you make profit without pricing yourself out of the market. Managing cash flow so you can pay your guys on Friday, even when clients are slow to pay. Dealing with difficult customers who change their minds after work has started. Handling employee issues when someone shows up late or doesn't show up at all. You bid on a commercial tenant improvement. The space is 15,000 square feet. The client wants restrooms, a break room kitchen, a mop sink, and a water heater system. You walk the space with the general contractor. You measure, you calculate fixtures and pipe runs. You estimate material costs and labor hours. You add your markup. You submit the bid at $88,000. You get the job. The project takes 6 weeks. You're on site supervising and working alongside your crew, running pipe, setting fixtures, installing the water heater, coordinating with the drywall crew and the tile setters, managing the schedule so you finish on time. The plumbing inspection happens in the final week. Everything passes. The client moves in. Your invoice gets paid. You made $23,000 profit on the job. That's how you keep the business running and everyone employed. But business ownership means stress you didn't have as an employee. You're responsible for payroll every week. You're responsible for workers' comp insurance and liability insurance. You're responsible for keeping the work pipeline full. Slow periods mean you might have to lay off. Busy periods mean you're working 60-hour weeks and turning down jobs. You're solving problems at 2 in the morning because a client's basement is flooding. You're dealing with customers who refuse to pay because they're unhappy with something unrelated to your work. Yet, you wouldn't go back to working for someone else. You're building something: your business, your reputation, your future. Level 5, the plumbing inspector. 16 years in the trade, and you've moved to the other side of the permit counter. You're a plumbing inspector for the city. Your job is reviewing plans and inspecting installations to ensure code compliance. Every plumber you once worked alongside now needs your approval. The perspective shift is significant. When you were a plumber, you sometimes thought inspectors were being picky or unreasonable. Now you understand why certain things matter. You've seen what happens when corners get cut. You've seen homes destroyed by hidden leaks. You've seen people sickened by contaminated water. Your job is preventing those outcomes. Most plumbers do good work, They know the code and follow it. Those inspections are quick. You verify proper pipe sizing, check venting, confirm drainage slope, and sign off. But some plumbers try to slide by with substandard work. Improper joints, missing vents, wrong slope, undersized pipe. You red tag those installations. You explain exactly what needs correction. Some plumbers appreciate the feedback, others get defensive. You don't care either way. The code is the code. Safety isn't negotiable. You also review plans for major projects, commercial buildings, apartment complexes, medical facilities. You check that the plumbing design meets code requirements before construction even starts. You catch problems on paper that would be expensive to fix after installation. Engineers sometimes design systems that technically meet code but create practical problems. You push back and request modifications. Your experience in the field makes you effective at this. You know what actually works. Level 6, the full circle. 25 years in the plumbing trade, you've done it all. Apprentice learning to cut pipe, journeyman plumbing buildings independently, master plumber running complex projects, contractor managing a business, inspector ensuring code compliance. You've seen the trade from every angle. Your body shows the years. Your knees ache from kneeling on concrete. Your hands have scars from pipe wrenches and close calls. Your back is stiff from decades of crawling through tight spaces and lifting heavy fixtures. You've been soaked, scalded, and covered in things you don't want to think about. You're lucky none of it was serious. But you built a career. You put food on the table. You sent your kids to college. You own your home. You have a pension from the union and savings from your business. You made a good living doing work that matters. Every building you plumbed still has clean water because you did it right. Every installation you inspected is still safe because you enforced the code. And somewhere right now, there's an 18-year-old kid showing up to a construction site for his first day. He's wearing new boots and carrying a tool belt that feels heavy. He doesn't know what a rough-in is. He's about to find out. He's going to struggle. His body is going to hurt. He's going to make mistakes. But if he sticks with it, he'll learn a trade that can't be outsourced or automated. He'll develop skills that are always in demand. He'll build a career that's solid and real. He'll figure it out, just like you.